Hello friends, Coach Bob with you today, and today we're going to talk about bitterness and disappointment and stupidity. Yep, talk about yours truly. You know, when you run into stuff, I don't know if you've ever run into stuff, but I've run into stuff and you scratch the spider and you go, what am I doing? Anyway, we're going to talk about that and a lot more right after this. All right, so let's go for a little ride. Talk a little bit about wrecking your spider. Oh, golly. You see how tight things are in here? And if things aren't just right, you can get into trouble. I think you're starting to see the picture. All right, let's roll. Woo, here we go. It's a beautiful afternoon. I went out earlier, and if you may or may not notice, I am using a new helmet mount right here. And it straps to your chin bar. Not quite so sure what the wind noise is going to be like or any of that sort of thing. We'll find out. But anyway, it's called a SoPro mount, S-O-P-R-O. And the reason I got it is that when mounting this Hero 8 Black to the side of your helmet in the mod case, it's just not capable to sit flat unless I mount it differently. So this is a fix for now until I can come up with a more permanent solution. Looking at it the way it was tilted to an angle, and I had one complaint from a viewer who said, hey man, it was just hard to watch. It was difficult, the view, the angle. And Coach Vic had also told me that. She said that it made her a little nauseous watching it. She got a little dizzy, just the way it did. So hopefully this new mount will work. So got that out of the way. So did I wreck the spider? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Was it bad? No, it was not. In fact, I'll show you pictures right there. So as you can see on the corner of the saddlebag, it's scratched up. And what happened is, and I want to talk a little bit about when these things happen, not if they happen, but when they happen, how we should respond, what we should do, what we should not do. Normally, most of these messages that I give you folks, they say, you know, a smart person learns from their mistakes, and a wise person learns from others' mistakes. So I try to be brutally honest, even at the risk of embarrassing myself. And I did embarrass myself a little bit, but thank goodness there were no cameras running, and I was out there alone. Although Coach Vic did hear me whining and ranting and raving a little bit, she understands that every now and then my flawed person comes out. So let me tell you what happened. I was coming in the driveway a little too fast, and as you can see when I was backing out, it's pretty tight in there. I cleared the front wheel right here. I cleared it, and what happened when I swung out, this edge of the saddlebag, somehow as I swung out, it swung out wide somehow, and it hit the van. And when it did, it took some paint off, and took some paint off of the CanAm and off of the van. Now I will tell you, I was very upset about both. Coach Vic was not upset at all. She basically said, hey, you know, I got 200,000 miles on the van. It's got marks all over it. Don't worry about it. And Coach Bob, don't worry about the Spyder. It's nothing. And it really bothered me. I was very upset about it because I was so careless and it was such an avoidable thing. And that's what I want to talk to you about. First off, when we drive tired, I'd had a tough week. It was super hot outside. I had ridden 400 miles that day, and I was exhausted. And I saw coming up into the driveway that it had been raining earlier that day in Tallahassee, and Coach Vic parks as close to the garage door as she can, because when you're in a wheelchair, you can't run and you can't hold an umbrella, so you get wet. And so she parked as close as she could, understandably so. She did nothing wrong. And me, I came up and I go, that's a little close, but I can get in there. I'm not going to worry about it. I was like, I'm just going to pull up in there. And I did it fast. Yep, I did it fast. And I heard clack-clow as I made that turn into that tight parking space after making sure I cleared the wall of the house and the front and the back of the van with the front of the Spyder. And when I heard it, I knew exactly what I had done. It was plastic hitting plastic. And it was very upsetting. I immediately looked at the van. It was fine. The white paint waxed right off of the van. But showing that there was white paint on the van meant that the white paint that was on the Spyder was no longer there. I looked, and sure enough, there was that black spot on the high spot of the saddlebag where it had rubbed. So when you're tired, when you're hot, when you're in an impatient state, you're prone to make mistakes. Just remember that, because this was a little mistake that had really not a whole lot of bearing to anything. But what if it would have been a more important mistake, a mistake in traffic, where I would have made a bad call because I was rushing around, and then all of a sudden I run into somebody, or somebody runs into me, and Coach Vic is on the back and we get hurt, all because I'm impatient and tired. So make sure when you're hot and you're tired and impatient that you don't take shortcuts and that you don't get in a hurry. It's not worth it. Taking the extra 2 or 3 minutes to move a vehicle, or the extra 30 seconds or the minute or two to wait for the next red light, it's a very little problem to do that. So take your time, slow down, don't make mistakes because you're rushing around. Sounds like a video I made, the video on rushing. There's a link right there. If you're rushing around, watch that. Before we continue, let me first off say thank you. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for the support of this channel, for the likes, the comments. Please, if you're watching and you're not subscribed, click that subscription. I do greatly appreciate it. Also, click that notification bell, and make sure you share these videos with friends. Even folks who don't ride Spyders, you will be amazed at how interested people do become in these things. I've got friends who are sport bike guys who never watched my channel when it was more about motivation. There's a story behind that. I'll talk at another time. But when I started riding the Spyder, even those guys who made fun of me have found themselves very interested in this machine. So don't give up on your friends, and enjoy this channel and share it with your friends. Also, there's a channel called DIY Mods and Vlogs. I'll post a link to his channel right here and a link down below. give this young man a shout out. He rides a Kawasaki Z900, and I've watched his channel grow, and he's doing very well. I mean, he's at 553 subscribers. I checked just before I left the house. What I would like to see is that CB3 followers go over there. I'd like to see, if this video gets 1,000 views, I would like to see 1,000 people click that link and go subscribe to this guy's channel, whether you watch it or not. I would like to see him pick up 1,000 subscribers overnight. And I know what you're saying. Coach Bob, do you know this guy? Have you met him? Are y'all like buddies? No, we're not. No, we're not. I've never met the guy in my life. I did leave a comment on his channel saying I love his channel and I think his attitude is superlative. He is clean speaking. He is intelligent. He makes modifications to his Kawasaki Z900. He does an excellent job. And I've watched his channel get better and better and better. His camera work has just gotten wonderful. His attitude is great. The motorcycle he rides is nice. I think you'll enjoy his content. Give it a check out, man. And even if you're not interested, like I said, subscribe. Help this young man get monetized. He deserves it. He's working hard. And if you're a CanAm channel person, share your channel down below and let's give each other shout outs, because I want to see your channel grow. Now, the next thing we want to talk about what happens is when you damage something. I think one thing you want to do is you want to be calm. Try not to overreact. We're prone to overreacting. We get mad about something and all of a sudden, you know, something that's minor seems major. Enjoy your Spyder, knowing the sun got a little bright there, knowing you're gonna scratch it, you're gonna bang it up. It's not gonna be perfect. Not if you ride it like I ride mine. It's just not. So enjoy it. Take care of it. Now, I'm not saying be frivolous and silly. Take good care of your machine. But don't freak out when little things happen, because little things are going to happen. You cannot put, you know, 15, 20,000 miles on a machine, leave it out in parking lots and at motels and all over the place and expect nothing to happen. Shopping carts, car doors, kids, you name it, it's going to happen. So be patient with that stuff. Now, one thing you can do, and this is something that I plan on doing now that this has happened, so there again, you can learn from me on this, is I'm going to go to my dealer and get the code for the paint, and I'm going to get that code. Ooh, that sun's bright. I'm going to get the code and I'm going to have touch-up paint on hand. Now, am I going to make this repair? I might. I don't know that it's actually on this side. I may make the repair, I may not. I'm looking at some other alternatives for that. I'm looking at maybe a sticker of some kind. We're looking at starting some merchandise soon, so that might be a good spot for my first CB3 sticker. But get the code for your paint job, especially if you have a newer motorcycle, because if you have that paint on hand, you can make that quick, easy repair over something like that, and you will be a lot less upset about it. You just will be. My daughter just texted me. They're back from the honeymoon. Nice. So make sure you have that stuff on hand. I'm going to order a kit for mine. And if I make the repair, I'll make a video of me making the repair. I'll show you what I do. I love taking the time to do those things right. And then you can look at it and go, Coach Bob, you did that all wrong. I'll sand it down and start over. But I'm not going to freak out about it. Push comes to shove, I'll take the door off, take it down to a body shop and have it sprayed. I ain't worried about it. either way, I got to get the paint code to do all that. You know, if you ride a rare machine and something that is collectible, or it's very, very difficult to get parts for, when these things happen, I think it is a lot more upsetting than something that is very utilitarian. And although I do love my Spyder, I can get replacement parts for it, and I don't mind running this thing and, you know, risk this or that. I'm going to take good care of it, that's for sure. But I do also understand that I can't treat this thing in a utilitarian way, and then when something happens, overreact like a child. That's just not reasonable. And while we're talking about making repairs to the Spyder, I want to bring up something that we've been discussing on the channel here of late, and that's that belt tensioner. I've talked to a couple of people this week that have put belt tensioners on there. Some of them put them on their new Spyders because they felt they needed to because of the vibration. Others put it on there to kind of feel like they were heading off a problem. So here's the latest information that I've received. BRP told me they would make it right with a BRP product, that the machine should do what it's designed to do. You have dealers saying BRP says they won't do it. So what I would do, being me, and as my son says, you do you, Dad. So that's what I do. I do me. What I would do, I'd go down to the dealer, I'd call BRP, and we'd be doing us a three-way conversation. Everyone's going to be on the same page, and we all going to be telling each other the same story. There won't be any secrets. Not that I'm angry at a dealer, not that I would be angry with the manufacturer. I would just like for everyone to know exactly what was going on. And I don't think that that is an unreasonable request. I would like to speak to someone at the manufacturer if I felt there was a manufacturer problem, and the dealer told me that they weren't going to take care of it. So that would be my recommendation. Am I going to buy a belt tensioner? Yes, I am. Am I going to do it soon? No, I'm not. The next thing I'm going to buy are magic mirrors, because I'm tired of fighting with the mirrors every time I do something. But I will definitely be buying a belt tensioner, and if you feel like you need one. Now, I'm not going to drive to Pennsylvania to help you. But if you live in Jacksonville and you need help putting it on your Spyder, you can certainly throw that thing in your saddlebag and you can drive over to my house and I'll help you put it on. We'll make a video of it. We'll have fun. People can laugh at us when we do it wrong, and we'll get it right. I promise you we'll get it right. We'll take our time and do it right. So I don't want you to think that I'm not one of you and that I'm not willing to get my hands dirty and help you fix something, because I am. And I will put a link to the Lamonster product. I'm told it is superior to the BRP belt tensioner. So if you're going to buy a belt tensioner, do the Lamonster. Don't do the BRP one, unless BRP is going to give it to you for free and put it on for free. And if they're not, I wouldn't give them money for a product that they should have had on there to begin with, possibly. So there you have it. There's Coach Bob's feelings on that. Let me tell you about the potential of an upcoming trip and the update on the rallies. The upcoming trip that Coach Vic and I are talking about is circumnavigating the state of Florida. That is not a small task. Florida is quite long, and it would end up being probably a couple of 1,000-mile long trip or close to it. What we would do, we would leave our house, we would go north to the most northernmost road that we could travel across the northern edge of Florida. We would head west, go over to Pensacola area, head south, grab 98. That goes along the southern coast of the Gulf. Head across, then take 19 slant 27 down as far as we can. Probably end up having to grab I-75 somewhere along Tampa, because it's pretty much runs right along the shore. And then we take Alligator Alley across, run down into the Keys, go to mile marker 0 in Keys, take A1A all the way up, all the way along the coastline of the Atlantic Ocean, up towards Fernandina Beach, make a turn left, and head back along the northern edge of the state of Florida, back to where we started. I don't know what the mileage would be. Like I said, I do know that it will be quite large mileage, but we are going to do that. The question is a matter of when. We also plan on doing the Key West to Maine trip. That will be next summer, or in the late spring, early summer, due to temperatures. If there's no swim season, it could happen earlier. I've talked to Coach Vic about it. She is afraid of the cold. We've been told that it can get quite brutal up in Maine as early as September. So we'll see. I don't know. I don't know. Man, I'm just getting messages all over the place. Turn all this mess. All right. But in regards to the trip to Maggie Valley versus DeLand, the responses that we've gotten so far are leading us, we're going to pass this guy on a double line, are leading us more into the direction of DeLand. And I'm going to tell you why. It's not due to geography, because the distance doesn't bother me. We were told organization, the number of vendors, the number of rides, that sort of thing. So that's why we're looking at doing that trip. So if you're interested in meeting us there, as we get closer, we'll let you know. We'll let you know where we're going to be. A couple of folks from Ocala area told me where they were staying. We may try to stay at that hotel. We're just going to see how all that plays out. Personally, I thought about doing a day or two in DeLand, then riding up to Maggie Valley and catching the last day of it. Coach Vic's not real excited about the mileage of that, but you know, I've never been accused of being too bright. The other thing is Daytona. They're talking about not having Biketoberfest apparently. I guess we'll find out soon enough. Also, when we're doing the circumnavigating trip, through our Facebook, Coach Bob 3 Facebook, we will be posting live updates daily, and we're going to try to start doing that when we go on trips. You know, the videos are always delayed because you have to get home and offload them and edit them and that sort of thing, and I try to do it in as timely a fashion as I can, but Facebook and the Coach Bob 3 group and Facebook and Instagram, we'll be posting daily where we're going to be. So if any of you want to meet up with us, maybe even if we're doing something kind of close, we may say, hey, we're going to go do lunch at, you know, the Hardee's in Fort Lauderdale, whatever. I don't know, I'm just making something up. then you can say, hey, yeah, I live right near there. I'll meet them at Hardee's. You don't even have to say anything. If somebody shows up, they show up, and if they don't, we will not be offended. Also want to talk a little bit about growing pains on the channel. You know, like I said, I bought this new mount that I've got on the front of my helmet, and I'm trying my best to make the channel as beautiful for you and as nice for you as I can. I really want you to enjoy the content. It matters to me. This stuff's important. But we do make an investment. Right, so far we've purchased 3 GoPros. One of them's damaged right now. It's got a cracked screen on the back of it. I'll end up sending that one back to GoPro because it renders it not waterproof, I'm sure. And I do want to be able to use it in the water when I so choose to. So we've got, you know, $800 worth of GoPro and mounts, another couple of $100 and that sort of thing. So we've invested about $1,000 in gear or more, actually more, because I've got, you know, the interface for a microphone on the iMac, and, you know, the condenser microphone for voiceovers for when I do those. So we've invested quite a bit in this channel, and one of the things we're talking about doing is creating merchandise. Like I said earlier, we want to make it appealing and cool. So if you're interested in that, once we get that shelf, there should be once it starts happening, as we get closer and have some designs, I'll share them with you. But my hope is to have a merchandise shelf down below that you can see on YouTube through Teespring or something like that in the next, say, 6 weeks is my goal. It would be a lot of fun. I'm gonna have some CB3 You're Doing It Wrong shirts, stuff like that. Seize the day. You can't if you cry, and we ain't crying. One of the things I really want to make is a beanie, a nice beanie. I'm a bald-headed guy, if you didn't notice, and I love beanies in the wintertime, although I don't get to wear them under my helmet. But I like beanies, and I like sunglasses, as you know. And if you notice the new sunglasses, those right there, those are from a company called ShadyRays. I really like them. Online, reasonable prices. Check them out. No, I don't get a kickback. No, I don't have, you know, the little thing where you have your little referral thing through Amazon and all that. I want to get that, by the way. That's another thing I want to do. I need to look into. All these young folks, man, they know how to make every dime you can out of YouTube. Me, I'm just, you know, cruising along at $2 or $3 an hour. Trust me, if I was paid for every hour I've ever put in it, I'm not making a nickel an hour. Last month, though, I did pretty well. I made $150 last month, which I figured my man hours, that was almost $3 an hour last month. No, it's not about the money, but you know me, I'm a stickler and I like doing things. I like... Oh, he's turning. There he goes. Right on around this guy. There we go. Isn't this a beautiful road? Anyway, these young folks, man, they know what they're doing on this internet thing. Me, not so much. That's okay. I love doing this channel. Love doing it. Just remember, when you damage things, don't overreact, and you can get them fixed. Remember, it's a machine. It's an inconvenience. Enjoy your Spyder. Use it. Use it, use it, use it. So again, be sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, share it with your friends, ring that notification bell, all that good stuff. And remember, go out, buy the motorcycle of your dreams. Yes, sir. Eat right, take care of yourself, and remember, if you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong. Now, go seize the day. We'll talk to you soon.